Thargoid report causes ripples. A recent report from EGIS, outlining the Thargoids' history and their interactions with the Guardians, has elicited a wide range of responses. A brief statement was released by Federal President Zachary Hudson. It is now clear that there is no reasoning with this alien menace. The Federation remains dedicated to wiping out any threat to our citizens. Imperial Admiral Denton Patrius adopted a similar viewpoint. This new information makes it clear that the Thargoids will reject any diplomatic overtures. We must redouble our efforts to defend ourselves from their antagonism. Meanwhile, Professor Palin observed, Aegis's report forewarns us, and perhaps forearms us too. We now know that the Guardians developed technologies capable of resisting the Thargoids' aggression. Therefore, it is not unreasonable to hope that the weaponry being developed by Ramtar based on Guardian designs might help us replicate the Guardians' success and defeat the Thargoids. Week in Review. Here are this week's major stories. Aegis has published a report containing significant insights into the Thargoids. The information was provided by the engineer Ramtar, compiled from recently decrypted logs at Guardian sites. The report indicates that the Guardians and the Thargoids were once at war, due to the Thargoids' belief that they had a pre-existing claim to the regions of space occupied by the Guardians. Professor Albert EN+RO, head of research at Aegis, said, "It is clear that our current situation echoes that of the Guardians. Our space, like theirs, was seeded with barnacles thousands of years ago, and now the Thargoids have arrived to reap the biomechanical harvest." The Aegis report has elicited a wide range of responses. Federal President Zachary Hudson said, "It is now clear that there is no reasoning with this alien menace," while Imperial Admiral Denton Patrius commented, "This new information makes it clear that the Thargoids will reject any diplomatic overtures. We must redouble our efforts to defend ourselves from their antagonism." Meanwhile, the operation to clear such show of Thargoids has reached a successful conclusion. Scores of pilots supported the campaign by eliminating Thargoid vessels in the system, and by delivering alien material to Dantec Enterprise. A spokesperson for Aegis Corps, which oversaw the initiative, thanked those who participated. In other news, EN+RO has announced an initiative to create a new shipyard in the CPC 206743 system. The shipyard will produce capital ships with which to defend human space from both human and alien threats. Finally, the Sirius Corporation has announced plans to expand its presence in the Seos and Sophis systems. The expansion will involve the construction of several new starports, settlements and megaships. And those are the main stories this week. Socho operation complete. The operation to clear Socho of Thargoids has reached a successful conclusion. Scores of pilots supported the campaign by eliminating Thargoid vessels in the system, and by delivering alien material to Dantec Enterprise. A spokesperson for Aegis Corps, which oversaw the initiative, made the following statement. "The pilots who took part in the operation have my thanks. They showed some real mettle. I can't promise the material they delivered will lead to any momentous discoveries, but you never know. Pilots who contributed to the initiative can now collect their rewards from Dantec Enterprise in the Socho system." Sirius Corp announces expansion. The Sirius Corporation has announced that it will be expanding its presence at 2 locations just outside the core systems. A spokesperson for Sirius made this statement. "For some time now, the amount of traffic passing through both the Seos and Sophis systems has been steadily increasing. Naturally, we are keen to ensure that all pilots have access to essential services. To this end, we are in the process of building several new starports and settlements in these systems, as well as several megaships. These will support Seos and Sophis's residents and visitors, and provide pilots with the high standard of services that they have come to expect from Sirius Corp." EG Union Campaign. EN+RO has announced an initiative to create a new shipyard in the CPC 206743 system. The shipyard will produce capital ships
Cannot comply.
with which to defend human space from
Frameshift drive charging.
both human and alien threats. The EG Union, acting on behalf of Yuri Grom, has placed an open order for...
Clear the exclusion zone. You're clear to resume own navigation.
Various commodities to build the shipyard, and has promised to reward pilots who deliver these commodities to Lyakov Dock, in the CPC-206743 system. The organization has also placed a kill order on all ships on its wanted list, to ensure that pilots delivering commodities can do so safely. The spokesperson elaborated on the nature of the campaign. Recent events have demonstrated that humanity is not prepared for a possible Thargoid invasion. Building a shipyard for Farragut-class ships is the first step in establishing a defensive perimeter. It is essential that traders do not encounter any difficulty when delivering materials, which is why the EG pilots, Yuri Grom's elite task force, have been asked to eliminate any agitators. We are also asking independent combat pilots to help us neutralize any threats. The campaign begins on the 22nd of March 3304 and will run for 1 week. If the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. Thargoid Revelations. Aegis has published a report containing significant insights into the Thargoids. The information was provided by the engineer Antar, compiled from recently decrypted logs found at Guardian sites. Key extracts from the report are reprinted below. The codices indicate that the Thargoids may be an older race than the Guardians, and that the two species share a history of conflict. This hostility was a product of the Thargoids' belief that they had a pre-existing claim to the regions of space occupied by the Guardians. The Guardians attempted to communicate with the Thargoids, but these efforts ended in failure. They determined that the Thargoids' survival instincts were so strong that they could not tolerate any potential threat, including the proximity of another spacefaring civilization. It is now clear that the Guardians' defensive drones and advanced weaponry were developed principally to protect their worlds from the Thargoids. Although details are scant, it seems these war machines eventually succeeded in repelling the Thargoids. Professor Albert EN+RO, head of research at Aegis, publicly commented on the report. Thanks to Ramtar and the brave pilots who explored Guardian sites, some of our questions about the Thargoids have been answered. It is clear that our current situation echoes that of the Guardians. Our space, like theirs, was seeded with barnacles thousands of years ago, and now the Thargoids have arrived to reap the biomechanical harvest. We now know that the purpose of the Thargoids' ongoing military offensive is to remove humanity from what they consider their territory. If the Thargoids adopt the same modus operandi as with the Guardians, their next move will be to start aggressively mining mineral resources. There is no evidence this has yet begun, however. Ramtar has also made a statement about the impact of the findings. Until now, the Thargoids have been shrouded in mystery, and their objectives have been unclear. For the first time, we have an insight into what drives them, why they are attacking us, and what their overall goals are. This is a historically significant discovery that I believe will make a huge difference to this conflict, and perhaps to humanity's survival. Starport Status Update. This report presents the latest data on starports experiencing technical issues as a result of Thargoid sensor-related interference. The following starports are on the brink of closure: Alien Platform, Kamahu, Corte Real Terminal, 1952, SETI, Kurland Hub, Belasuk, Paul, near Dagonoville Escape, Cole, 285 Sector, MJG, C1125, Bow Orbital, Abast Samo. Thargoid surveillance continues. According to Aegis, their operation to monitor Thargoid activity in the Pleiades Nebula has already begun to show results. Aegis released the following statement on behalf of Admiral Aiden Tanner, their chief military. Non-human signal sources in Huvandi.
Flight assist on.
Local security services in the Huvandi system have announced today that there have been no new sightings.
Scan detected.
Thargoids over the last 24 hours. The head of local security forces released the following statement. We do not know why the Thargoids appeared in our region
Scan detected.
of space, or why they now appear to have left. We can only speculate as to their motives. However, we thank all the brave pilots that came to the system to help defend against
Scan detected.
this potentially catastrophic threat. There is speculation that the Thargoids planned to attack the system and were held back by the influx of combat pilots engaging them, while others claim that the Thargoids might be exploring or looking for resources, and have simply moved on. While no one has reported any further sighting in nearby systems, security forces in the region remain on high alert.
Scan detected.
The Purge of Socho. Following reports of Thargoid incursions in
Under attack. Warning. Impulse attack. Trajectory disruption. Flight assist off. Flight assist on. Under attack. Flight assist off. Flight assist on. Scan detected.
Coalition of Othime campaign concludes. The Coalition of Othime has announced that its campaign to
Warning. Incoming hatchbreaker limpet.
build a new asteroid base has received
Under attack.
the wholehearted support
Progress.
of the galactic community. Hundreds of pilots supported the appeal by delivering commodities to Levi Montalcini dock, and by eliminating agitators in Othime,
Module malfunction.
thereby ensuring the safety of traders. Authorities in Othime have extended their gratitude to those who
Target shields offline.
participated in the operation. Pilots who contributed to the initiative can now collect their awards from Levi Montalcini dock, in the Othime system. Fresh knowledge from new Guardian sites.
Scan detected.
Following the recent discovery of new Guardian sites, the engineer Amtar is seeking help from the galactic community to learn more about the long-lost civilization. Further details were outlined in his latest announcement. I have developed a decryption algorithm that will translate the codices at Guardian sites. However, pilots
Under attack.
are reminded that accessing Guardian data is only possible when in possession of one of their artifacts. Pilots can obtain Ramtar's decryption algorithm from any station in the main system other than Felistock. The artifacts alluded to by Ramtar can be found at Guardian sites. Commanders are warned to be on alert, as the sites may be defended by Guardian drones. Ramtar also stated, "I will be more than pleased to reimburse any pilot who successfully returns to the main
Target shields online.
system with a complete series of Guardian logs. There is so much more for us to discover about the Guardians and
Warning. Incoming hatchbreaker limpet.
their history, and this could be a
Target theft in progress.
significant turning point in our understanding. Thargoid surveillance in the Pleiades. Aegis has launched an operation to monitor Thargoid
Module malfunction.
activity in the Pleiades Nebula. Admiral Aiden Tanner, Chief Military Liaison at Aegis, made this statement.
Under attack.
Our new Eagle Eye initiative will closely monitor systems where Thargoid surface sites are known to exist. We have established orbital surveillance installations at 6 locations in the Pleiades, which will measure
Target shields offline.
energy level fluctuations and track ship movements. Each installation is attended by a comms beacon that will collect the data before transmitting it to us for analysis. Aegis has confirmed that Eagle Eye installations have been placed in the following systems: HIP
Target destroyed.
17225, HIP 17692, HIP 17892, HR 1185, Pleiades Sector IRW, D155, Pleiades Sector KCV, C24. Professor Albert EN+RO commented, "My hope is that this initiative will greatly increase our knowledge of the Thargoids. Observing their natural activities, outside of combat
Target cargo dropped.
zones, should further our understanding of their behavior." Week in Review. Here are this week's major stories. Several new Guardian sites have been discovered, resulting in a wealth of fresh information about the Guardians' long-lost civilization. Some of this information has already been put to practical use by the engineer Amtar, who has produced
Scan detected.
blueprints for new weaponry and power plant systems based on Guardian designs. Several galactic figureheads reacted to the news. Federal President Zachary Hudson said, "Anything that helps us defend our citizens from Thargoid aggression is welcome," while Imperial Admiral Denton Patrius expressed hope that the new armaments would provide a tactical advantage in our conflict with the Thargoids. Meanwhile, Aegis has launched an operation to monitor Thargoid activity in the Pleiades Nebula. The Tri-Superpower Initiative has established orbital surveillance
Target shields offline.
installations at 6 locations in the Pleiades as part of the
Scan detected.
Eagle Eye initiative. The installations will monitor systems where Thargoid surface sites are known to exist. Finally,
Target destroyed.
the Coalition of Othime has announced plans to develop refinery facilities in its home system, through the construction of a new asteroid base. The organization hopes that the new base will allow it to compete with other refineries in the region. And those are the main stories this week. Coalition of Othime campaign. The Coalition of Othime has announced plans to develop refinery facilities in its home system,
Flight assist on.
through the construction of a new asteroid base. A spokesperson for the coalition said, "Othime relies heavily on its refineries, but those refineries are limited to small and medium cargo vessels, which limits the amount of revenue we can generate. A new asteroid base would allow us to support large ships, such as the Anaconda and Imperial Cutter, and allow us to compete with other refineries in the sector." The organization has placed an open order for various commodities, and has placed a kill order on all ships on its wanted list, to ensure that those contributing material to the campaign can do so safely. Pilots who contribute to the initiative will be generously rewarded. The campaign begins on 8th of March 3304, and will run for 1 week. If the final target is met earlier than planned, the campaign will end immediately. Colonia Initiative concludes. The Colonia Council has announced that its campaign to build a security installation in the Colonia region has been warmly received by the galactic community. Large quantities of material were delivered to Dove Enigma over the past week, allowing the initiative to move to the construction phase. A spokesperson for the Colonia Council, which is overseeing the campaign, gave the following statement: "The new installation will help us protect the people of Colonia from the ever-escalating Thargoid threat.
Flight assist off.
Our thanks go to those
Flight assist on.
who supported the campaign." Erecrimson Vision Corporation. Erecrimson Vision Corporation, Colonia. Erecrimson Vision Corporation, Gold Hubberick. The Guardians. The galaxy reacts. There has been a range of reactions to the discovery of new Guardian sites, and to Ramtar's development of Guardian-inspired technologies. Federal President Zachary Hudson said, "The Federation congratulates Ramtar on his success. Anything that helps us defend our citizens from Thargoid aggression is welcome." Imperial Admiral Denton Patrius echoed this sentiment.
Scan detected.
"I am pleased to hear that new, more powerful armaments are being produced. These will provide a tactical advantage in our conflict with the Thargoids." Alliance Prime Minister Edmund Mahone struck a more balanced tone. "Information is wealth, and Ramtar's efforts to expand the boundaries of science and knowledge will make us rich indeed." Meanwhile, Samguru, Pranav, and Tile of Utopia look to the future. "There is enormous potential for humanity to benefit from the technology of our galactic predecessors, and we look forward to sharing whatever prosperity these new discoveries may bring." Finally, Professor Albert EN+RO, head of research at Aegis, commented, "I have already contacted Ramtar with the hope that Aegis can study his new data. Understanding more about the Guardians may enhance our knowledge of the Thargoids, and perhaps help us to comprehend their motives." Ramtar announces new discoveries. The engineer Ramtar has revealed that his recent request for pilots to investigate possible Guardian sites has yielded significant discoveries. He has released this statement. "Thanks to many courageous commanders,